right, we'll talk about it later. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another installment of Culturally Irrelevant. My name is Miguel. These are my best friends, fast becoming yours. Will Russell, David Wright, Brandon West. We bring you some of the best culturally significant topics of the week, giving you some humor, giving you some biblical ground view, and having a lot of fun along the way. So thanks for joining us. We're going to hop right into it. Will, we missed you last week, but we're happy to have you back, brother. How you doing?
Hit us with the ground view.
The ground view?
Yeah, I don't know where
What's
that
the view from the ground.
It's funny when I said it. I was like, "Oh, David's gonna jump down my throat for this," but he stayed silent.
But my mic was over there. I had to go pick it up.
He was like running over.
I
have to correct him. Speaking of which, you're kind of loud in the mic. But anyways, ground view.
Right. We already have something for Corrections Corner. This is so exciting.
I do have something for Corrections Corner from last week. I think
everything we said.
No, I think my takes on therapy might have been a little, ungracious. So I didn't want to poo-poo on all therapy.
Dude, no, all therapy.
No, they were good.
That's the position of this podcast.
It's all about the therapist. If you have a good therapist, you might have a good therapy.
You have a therapist with you all the time. It's called your brain. You just need to know how to be strong enough to use it.
Oh my god, Wes, we had a caller. I think we had a caller leave you a voicemail. Is that correct?
Indeed, we did, and I'm very excited to get to it. We will play the voicemail here at the end of the show. So stay tuned.
Okay. Oh, that's wonderful.
Culture Relevant has a call line, so make sure you Google that, find it, leave us your hottest takes, your best well wishes, and we'll play that on the show if we think it's cool enough.
Yeah, it happens to be my cell phone number.
Speaking of cell phone numbers, do you know what peoplefinder.com is or .org or whatever?
I feel like I've heard that, but I don't know what it is.
You type in anyone's phone number or just their full name and their state, and you can find everything about them.
Is this for real?
Really creepy.
For the most part. I mean, it's a lot of public record stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. David, did you just discover that Google is a thing?
Yeah, but if you Google my name, you're not going to find my siblings and how much my parents' house sold for. And
well, this looks crazy. Do I have to pay for this?
No.
No, you just need to close 1,000 pop-ups.
It's just like really stalkery, though. I didn't know your address was. I guess I did. I don't know, guys. I just turned 17 last week. Give me a break.
You're not congratulations on the internet yet.
Yeah.
Do you guys remember the website howmanyofme.com? Do you ever use that whenever you're in like middle school?
How many of me?
You can put in your first and last name, and it will show you statistics for how many people in the world have your exact name. Well, not exact, first and last. There's 360 of me. 0 of them are female.
Did you want to date one of you? Like, what's going on?
How sick would that be, though?
No Brandons?
Mr. and Mrs. Brandon West.
That would be convenient. Right. I bet you there's about, over, under on Miguel Gonzalez.
10 billion.
100,000. Okay, you go over.
Over easy.
I would
easy.
Over 100,000?
Over, under 100,000.
It's 1 million.
It's over.
It's 1 million?
It's over.
Hey,
David. 797.
797?
Yeah.
No, that's not right.
No,
yeah.
I can't.
Your website's broken, bud.
Yeah, that's not right. No.
David's joke about Brandon wanting to marry himself reminds me of a joke that Stephen Curtis Chapman made last week. We went to see his concert at Coral Ridge, of all places to make this joke. And he's telling the story of how he met his wife, who surprisingly has the same last name, Chapman. And so he's like, oh, yeah, people were like, oh, Chapman's going to marry a Chapman. That's weird. And he was like, well, we're from Kentucky, so it's normal. And everybody kind of paused for a second. And then it was like, oh, just kidding. And everybody laughed. But after like 3 seconds, everybody realized that he just make an incest joke here in the sanctuary of Coral Ridge, which he did.
We don't joke as Christians. We shouldn't.
We should not. We should not joke about anything. Anything. Period.
Everybody knows. We should just end the podcast on that.
Yeah.
Bye, everybody.
By the way, this website stinks. It says there's 400 John Smiths in the world.
So you've been using this website since you were in middle school?
Well, that was also the last time that I used it, was in middle school, and we were all really impressed at the time.
I'll tell you what. I just checked out peoplefinder.org, searched myself, found myself.
Yeah.
Correct age. It lists me as living in Houston, Texas, so that's not true. Also
That's
lists
not you then.
a possible relative as well. It's got all my parents, my sister, and her husband, but then it lists a Miguel Gonzalez as a potential relative who I have no idea who that is, and
Did we
now I'm
just
worried.
have a drum roll on the
I'm
podcast?
sure you
Dude.
have Manuel Gonzalez in your family.
Manny.
I looked up mine though, and like right underneath current address, it was like had hemorrhoids 2 years ago, and I was like, I didn't even go to the doctor for that.
How do they know?
I know that
I'm not even kidding.
I don't mean to
That's
out your
creepy.
joke, but I do know that you went and edited it yourself just to make sure the information was correct.
It's like
You're
Wikipedia. You can fix
so
it.
weird. How did they know that about me? Interesting thing as we're talking about this is you can find myself and my family in the American Jewish Archives.
The AJA.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aha.
If you look it up, it's very, very meticulously kept records. And you can follow the tree all the way back to like the 1400s.
Wow, look at you
1300s.
with your claim to Jewish fame. That's amazing.
Thank you.
Did you ever do your birthright trip?
No. So interesting thing about the birthright trip, because I did look into it, and the more I researched it, so the whole thing is set up very much as like a Jewish conversion / like commit to your orthodoxy kind of trip, like commit to the faith, or like Zionism in particular. And it turns out that if you aren't a Jew or you have no intentions of practicing the Jewish faith, and that's found out while you're on the trip, they will kick you off the trip wherever they are. You have to find your own way home, and then once you do find your own way home, they will send you a bill for the trip.
Wow.
That sounds awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty cool. Well, all of this makes sense because it kind of, it completely explains why you suck at all sports.
It's okay. Everybody sucks at sports after they're 30. So at that point, all the other stuff shines.
No, I don't
Speak for
think you're
yourself, bro.
Good at
Pickleball pro over here. Basketball. I'll take all of you in basketball.
it. Dude, I will pack your
Yeah.
stuff into the next
This
county.
isn't March Madness, bro. White people don't win at basketball on the streets.
Yeah. Dominican people. Famously great basketball
Yeah,
players.
famously.
Manny Gonzalez did a really great job in the NBA
Yeah.
G League.
Hey, this might be an insensitive question, but is it hard to fake being a Orthodox Jewish person for a couple weeks for a free trip, or is it like something that you'll get busted for sure?
I think it requires denying your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ, but if that's
okay.
worth the trip to
All right.
Israel
So-
for you,
So it does seem a little intense. Never mind.
Honestly, though, if they like kick you off the trip and you're like, stranded somewhere, that actually does sound like a lot of fun. Like somebody just dumps you in a random place in Israel, and you're like, "Good
Random
luck with
place
your
in Israel.
good luck with your hopes and dreams."
Mm.
Yeah,
Wait, but the whole like making you pay them back, that doesn't add up. Jewish people are not known for, anyways, they are. But
That doesn't add up.
that doesn't add up. When I went to Israel, all the flight attendants spoke Hebrew to me because I look Jewish because I have a nose.
yeah. And did you speak Hebrew back?
I don't know Hebrew, so I just sat there and I was like, "Yep,
You're like,
I'll take my yummy chicken or whatever they gave me. I don't know.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
sat there and stared at them as they were talking Yiddish.
Yeah, Krav Maga.
I was next to a kid who was on birthright though.
Really?
Hey.
There you go.
Yeah.
And he looked like a real Jew. So
Hopefully he made it home. He didn't get dropped off in occupied Palestine.
no, he had the sideburns. So
Sideburns.
Sideburns. Okay. I feel like we're towing a line here, boys.
he's trying to be funny. He had the sideburns.
Well, all right.
I
It's not offensive. It's just not what they are.
All right.
How would you know you're not Jew?
I just
David,
look like one.
Man, it's
David.
just like 5 minutes of being back with you guys, and we've already pissed off a segment of our listening audience. This is amazing.
I
That
was
is-
in Israel. I love Israel. My name's
That should
David.
be culturally irrelevant's mission statement. Here to piss off the whole world, one demographic at a time.
I wasn't trying to piss off anyone. I usually am. But
I fully anticipate Miguel to use our Twitter handle to like find somebody who's trashing us and be like,
Guys,
hey,
I don't use
what ethnicity are you?
Yeah,
I want
bro.
to call you an appropriate slur. What ethnicity are
Yeah,
you?
what
I would
were you
like to
doing?
clarify that I do
It
not.
has
use
to be
my
more
art-
catty. You need to frame it more like he's in like a middle school cafeteria at the popular girls table.
He's a
So,
popular girl.
I mean, in his Twitter persona.
I would like to clarify that I do not use our Twitter handle to troll. It just something came up and it struck a chord, and I got involved in the conversation. That's all.
Why on our Twitter handle?
I felt like I was pretty respectful. Well, it's because my old Twitter
You
account
felt
got,
like you were pretty respectful.
I thought
Okay.
so.
Can I read a couple of the replies?
Yeah,
You sure can.
1000% yes.
In whatever voice I choose.
This
Whatever
is the-
voice you choose, brother.
This is our chosen A block. So yes, please go.
Okay. Where's the first one? We got some. Oh shoot.
so for
Hold
context,
on. Give me
I'm
1
a
second.
I'm a contemporary.
No
Yeah, no
context.
context.
No
Okay,
context.
no, it's just sorry, listeners. You're just gonna go into a blind.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Here we go. Here's something you seem completely uneducated about. Most of the big hits produced by these labels aren't written by them. They're just made popular by them. But of course, it's such an easy boogeyman. Well, sorry. It's such an easy bogeyman to be mad at. I too used to be immature in my faith, lashing out.
I don't appreciate this tone you chose. I thought you were gonna go with something a little more manly. Honestly,
No, I just told you, middle school girls popular table. What did you expect manly?
Can I read one, Wes? Can I read one?
Yeah, please.
oh gosh, I don't want to hear David's
She
voice.
doesn't
Dude.
even go here.
Do the
She doesn't even go
I
here.
am fully educated one. It starts with.
Can you just shoot it to me really quick?
Yeah,
Thank you.
This isn't cool, guys. This
you brought this on
I'm
yourself.
no.
I'm
Miguel,
starting.
this
I'm starting
isn't
to
cool.
become less confident in my opinions, and that feels.
These are
it
your
feels icky.
lashings.
Here we go.
This is your public shaming.
Oh man, he took the glasses off. This is gonna be bad.
Ahem. I am fully educated on NAR. Thanks. I 100% disagree with that movement, but you're just bringing that in for points, and it doesn't count. And also, buy what? What are you talking about? You think me spending $10 on a chart pack? What's a chart pack? Is funding somebody praying over graves? Lol.
I honestly thought that tweet was pretty great by me.
You're kind of mean. That's coming from someone who's mean.
Just like catty.
You're kind of rude. I don't reply to people on X like that.
Well, and I will no longer reply to people on X.
No,
like
no,
that.
no,
It does
no,
not-
Okay.
no.
Does
We
not set a
already
good
have
standard for our show.
No, we have a rapport that we must establish, continue to establish with the community. So this must continue.
I would like you to shift your sass towards my best friend, DC Drano. If you want to tweet at him on our yeah, we should all tweet at him.
I mean, I just
Yeah.
want to point out that my little interchange got us like 4 impressions. So
Oh,
Hey,
where's the
Props
Chuck
to me.
Elon?
thank
Where'd
you.
that Chuck?
I think it was actually really fun and it created fun content. So for that,
That's
Well,
all we
as
care
a
about. We just care about
contemporary-
content.
Yeah, and as a contemporary worship leader, when someone starts attacking songs that I really like, I get a little defensive about it. You know.
I have a question. Speaking of content,
the whole show gets offensive or it gets offended, as how it seems.
do you guys know who the MD Foodie Boys are on Instagram?
Heck yeah, heck
Oh,
yeah.
okay. We have to
MD
talk about
Foodie
these
Boys.
guys.
We got to get
They're
them on the
cool.
show first of all.
Got to get on the show. They're my heroes, and they all have nicknames. They're what, 13 years old
If
max.
that, yeah.
There's 4 of them, and they have professional podcast equipment, just like us. And
I'm gonna guess that they have like 1,000 times more followers, though.
they have like 200,000 followers.
Yeah,
The thing
that's
is,
not even close.
so they review food, right?
Can you
The
tell me
thing
the name
is,
again, real fast? Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you.
MD Foodie Boys.
Like Maryland foodie.
The leader, you got to read the comments. The leader of this group is like a short, like, chunky kid with like curly hair. So his nickname is Chub Perm, which is just the all-time nickname.
There's
And
no
none
way
of
they
them
came
have
up
ever.
with that nickname on their own. It's too
No,
funny.
in the comments they did.
No, AI did.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, AI did it. And
Go over there.
none of these kids. One of the kid hasn't even had a vegetable in his entire life. That's fantastic.
Dude, that's a fire claim to fame, though.
They're like, we're trying Taco Bell for the first time. What? Hello?
Well, whenever you're 3, you're trying a lot of things for the first time.
No. They're 13, and I'm obsessed with them. And shout out MD Foodie Boys. Have us on. We'll come
I don't
on.
understand how he can
Guys,
say that
I'm not
he
paying
doesn't like
attention anymore.
vegetables when he's never tried it before.
These guys are just sitting around eating all kinds of delicious food.
Isn't it the best?
Can we end our show now and just go watch these guys?
I do it every
No.
night.
No.
Shout out to
That sounds weird. I don't do it every night.
What a confession. What a confession.
I said it sounds
Hey.
weird. Just
David,
like-
you look like a snack today, bro. Give me the inspiration behind your look.
That's
I
not
mean,
it.
the shirt,
That-
the
you're-
glasses.
We're gonna have to edit that out. Ugh.
No. You
That's
look like a
inappropriate.
snack that the Foodie Boys would review.
No.
All right,
no,
back
no,
in.
no,
I'm
no,
back
no.
in on that. Nope, I'm back in on that.
what time are we at? What's the time count? Edit that out.
18,
No.
10. You really
Nobody say it.
You didn't even say no homo.
because I
would've-
wasn't trying to make something homo. You guys are the ones making it homo.
You look like a snack. Have you ever said it to another man? Ever?
I've said
Just
it to
Ever.
a
He
couple
just said it
other
to you
men,
twice.
but I only say it to men with whom I'm secure in my relationship. Like
One
you.
time I was in DC and I was at a hotel waiting for Will to meet me there. This was back in like August or something. And I had my reading glasses or my, long distance glasses on, which are, the big ones. And then so Will comes in. I haven't seen him in a while. I'm like, my buddy, I can't wait to, give him a hug and like see my boy. And then he goes, you look like, well, it was some serial killer. You're like, you look like a serial killer right now.
What did I
Didn't
say?
compliment me at all. Ted
Oh,
Bundy or
Yeah, I was like, you look like Ted Bundy. Like,
I was bummed. That actually hurt.
That would hurt.
Jeez.
I do
was-
when I wear those though.
Especially
You
if coming
do.
from a guy that we respect as much as Will. Being called Ted Bundy, that hurts.
They're super weird glasses.
I was
but-
wondering like who he like cut the face off of and wore it around his
Mm.
hotel.
Clarice.
And that was after I spent 3 days. That was after I spent 3 days driving a 15-foot truck from Florida to
I
DC.
forgot about
And then
that.
Will's like, "What's up, idiot?" I'm like, "I threw up on the side of the road at 4 a.m.
Oh,
Thank
geez.
you."
That
Love you.
You were
reminds me-
driving at 4 a.m.? Oof.
I had to.
There-
Yeah, we had a call time. So.
That reminds me of the one time that I ever went to New Orleans, to where me and my friend had this idea, like, yeah, we're gonna, because we were driving back from Florida.
My
to
friend and I. It
Pennsylvania.
would be my friend and I, not me and my friend. It'd be my friend
No,
and I.
maybe,
Check.
maybe,
Check.
maybe
He's
for
back.
So
Maybe for you.
we're gonna get to. So we're like, oh, we're gonna go to New Orleans. It's gonna be really cool. We're gonna go to Bourbon Street. So like we're driving all day, and it's probably like we've been in the car for like 10 hours, and then we finally pull up to Bourbon Street. And we're like, all right, okay, this is going to be cool, but I'm so tired and exhausted. But it's like, whatever, it'll be fun. So I get out of the car and we walk not 5 steps. And there's these 2 like punk guys sitting like on the corner. And he looks at me and goes, nice jean jacket, dude. And then I go to my friend, I'm like, I don't want to be here. I'm leaving. I hate this place already. I've had enough.
Yeah.
So then I get back in the car and we drive another 6 hours north, and we leave New Orleans right away. So
I'm still hung up on the fact that David and Will are out traveling to DC without us. So it looks like Brandon and I are going to do the Japan trip without you boys. We were going to pay for the whole crew, but yeah, I know. But I was
Who's
making a
going
joke.
to
Thanks,
Japan and why are we going to Japan?
We have a big following there. We found out thousands of
Oh.
people. Yeah,
We're going to go
in,
record a live show
Okinawa.
from Tokyo. From Okinawa, sorry.
it's okay.
Sorry, Okinawans.
There and then I don't know if you've seen in the comments. Every other comment says, "Come to Brazil, come to Brazil." So
Do we
We're not
really
gonna
have
go to
a
Brazil.
Portuguese
we're
following?
we're not going to go to Brazil though. Do we
These
what?
jokes are good. These are
I
fun.
didn't know that we had a Portuguese following. That's actually pretty
No,
cool.
we don't. We do not. These are lies, not jokes. These are lies.
Mentiras. All right, you guys want to jump into some topics? You want to do some international stuff? You want to do some domestic stuff? What you want to talk about? What's on your heart?
Yasma Galsan. Go ahead.
Donald Trump.
I mean, I guess we could start with the most obvious thing that everybody else is talking about, which is Signal
JD Vance
Gate.
memes. Oh, go ahead.
Oh, also JD Vance memes, but I'm not obsessed with the Signal Gate story, but I did read everything that was released, and I gotta say, it was thrilling to read. I felt like it was an inside view into some cool stuff. Didn't really come off as anything secretive or truly classified or important. So it feels like everybody's making a big deal out of nothing, but I thought it was kind of cool. Like
Read
an
us in.
inside view
Read
into
us in.
people
What
people
happened?
chatting Well, there's like 10, 12 high level, the president, the director of this, director of that, blah, blah, blah. And they're all just kind of chatting like normal people back and forth. I mean, they're discussing military strikes on the Houthis. So it's a serious topic, but they're all just chatting away in a group chat. Like, oh, and then at the end of it, it's like, oh, that was great. Somebody said, I don't remember who said it, but somebody said, CENTCOM is/was on point. And I was like, look at this. They just talk like us, man. It's
What do you
dropping
think the
missiles,
name-
but it's still kind of.
What do you think the name of that group chat is? Like, they have to have a name for it, right? I've never used Signal, but
Rough Riders.
the
I will
bad
say
boys with a
something-
Z. Come on.
Something
Yeah.
that I have learned throughout this story is everybody's crying over the last 4 days. How could our government officials be using an app that's such terrible OPSEC? President Biden was force loading that app onto everybody's government phone. He's the one that started it and got the whole government using Signal. So apparently it was fine then, but it's not very acceptable now.
Well, it's not that anybody like hacked into their signals. I mean, that probably couldn't happen. But I think the weird part was that there was a journalist from the Atlantic that was also added to that group, which probably
That's
they were
he's-
not.
He's not a
They
journalist.
were not
If
one
you
of
work
the
for
boys.
If you work for the Atlantic, you're not a journalist.
Ooh.
Just bye.
I'm just going by his
Good
LinkedIn
point, though.
profile.
Good point.
Check his
Yikes.
LinkedIn.
The last thing I read too is that nobody actually can figure out how he got added. Somebody was saying it was Hegseth, but it was not Hegseth. People haven't been able to figure out actually how he was added into that group chat yet.
Yeah, we talked to Hegseth. We actually asked everybody on, and nobody. They all said that they weren't involved with adding him, so we can confirm that.
Confirmed.
Yeah, I don't know, Will. What do you think?
I mean, I don't really see the big deal here. It's Signal is a widely used platform here in DC, and I personally think this is like one of those things that the media kind of glommed onto and then just
100%.
blew up just because they were bored and there's really nothing else to talk about. I guess.
Yeah, there's not much going on. I think that's a good ground view right there.
Yeah,
Sure,
well,
thank
well
you.
done.
Thank you.
You were
Happy
like
to-
this. You were looking up from the ground.
happy to do
Man, we can't mess up
Yeah.
around you guys. Y'all are merciless.
that.
Dude, we're 11 episodes
Somebody-
in. We got to tighten this thing up.
Somebody asked Trump, is it a big deal? Something along those lines. And his answer was pretty much like, no, we've had a perfect 2 months. It's not that big of a deal, but you got to talk about something. So, yeah, kind of a grasping at straws scenario.
Yeah, well, and
I
also
will
from
s-
what I understand, that attack was already made known to the countries. Like, this was something that was already kind of out there in the open. This wasn't
Yeah,
like fresh information.
The people who live there got text messages that said, "You gon' die," with a
Well, right. What they all failed to put in their reports was that literally everybody in the country was also a part of the Signal group. So it wasn't classified information. It was just they were just communicating to the residents like, "Hey, you get out if you can." And then the journalist the journalist had a summer home in the region, and that's why he was.
Wait,
a part.
what are you doing?
I'm trying to explain the story.
This isn't real, right?
No, so the
Get a
Signal group.
summer home.
So yeah, they all had a summer home. The Signal groups. Okay, so the technical analysis is Signal groups are capped at 1 million people. There's 1.3 in the region, but the guy from the Atlantic, he got grandfathered in through another Signal thing, and the way it's a long story.
Is
All
this
that to
real, or
say-
are you trying to be funny?
I feel like, no, he's trying to dig himself out of a hole here, and it's not
Bro,
going
you
well.
could just pull your mic cord out. You're good.
It's not going well.
It's okay. This is all going over your head. It's fine.
Shoop. I
The
do want to ask, though,
listeners will be grateful for the context.
are we allowed to call
100%.
ourselves a Tiger team or not really?
What? A
That was
Tiger
it.
team?
That was the takeaway. One of the first texts was like, "Oh, we gotta form a Tiger team," and I was like, "What the heck is a Tiger
Oh,
team?"
I haven't read
apparently
this.
it's just
I
a
haven't- I haven't
fun-
I honestly had no idea there was required reading in this podcast. Like, I feel like I'm
Yeah.
so out of the
If you
loop
want to
with it.
pass, yes. If you want to fail, then it doesn't matter.
I didn't read it.
Tiger team, I think in this context is kind of like a strike team, like a QRF kind of thing.
Hmm.
The ones that are moving on whatever's happening and whatever they're doing, they're the ones the immediate response team.
Boots on
So
the ground.
sure, this is a QRF. This is a Tiger team right here. We are responding to news that happened over the past 7
10
days.
days.
Yeah.
Cutting edge, first on the ground, from the ground view. Can we change that to our catchphrase
From
from the ground view. Oh, ew,
On the
sorry,
ground view.
guys.
Last week,
Episode
last week
episode
disgusting.
11 title right there.
Got my feet in the picture. Sorry,
disgusting.
Give the people what they want.
I'm on
So
my couch.
What else happened?
What
Oh,
else
did you
has
see?
happened last
Did
week?
you see? Harry Sisson
Wait,
was
wait a minute. Wait.
was
Mickey,
the
I
DNC's no
thought
longer
you-
paying him. Sorry.
Good, that's such great news. I thought Miggy, you had like another question. You had like a laundry list of questions that you.
Oh,
had.
I did want to know. I did want to understand. What does it mean if someone in the government says check your high side inbox?
Well,
Classified.
do you want the ground view or do you want the sky view?
No, I want the ground view.
All right,
Classified.
Will, go.
Oh, okay, so it's just like telling you got to go check a different repository because you have a classified email versus like a regular.
Yeah, I mean,
Whatever.
there are networks that are, all of the networks in our globally public networks are, they can be hacked into. They can get access to. High side is a classified form of communication that is segregated off from the rest of the world, and it's very, very difficult to hack. It's not air gapped in so much as like it's completely removed, but it is very, very, very difficult to get a hold of. There are places in government buildings, especially those who deal with classified information, that have rooms that are dedicated for this. They're called SCIFs, sensitive compartmentalized information facility. SCIFs are where you can't take like your cell phone, iPad, computer, nothing like that.
And there's no electronics in or out of those rooms, right?
No, all of the electronics that exist inside that room and stay inside that room. And so I've
Even nano babies or like nano pets?
in even nano
Tamagotchi?
pets,
Tamagotchis?
Neopets, yeah.
Okay,
Uh,
gotcha.
Not allowed in the skiff.
Not allowed
I
in
know.
SCIF. Not allowed in SCIF.
That
So-
to me, that was the coolest part about reading this whole thing. It's like I'm seeing like some technical jargon and seeing the inside of what's going on with these people. I don't know. I thought it was cool.
Honestly,
Maybe I watched too many
honestly,
action
Mig, I feel like that if you were accidentally added to this group chat, you could have probably fit right on in. Like just
Oh no! If
Just-
I had been added to that group chat, I would have gotten myself in a lot of trouble. I would have been cracking jokes.
Just-
I would have been saying dumb things. It would have been bad.
No. Just grokked some random words.
Grokked.
Yeah, just like come up with some AI random acronyms and start throwing them in. Nobody actually knows what anybody's talking about anyway when it comes to national security stuff. So just throw in a random acronym like, SecForce said, whatever, X, Y, and Z. And they were like, oh yeah. SecForce. That's a big deal. He's a important person. Actually, it's a she. She is an important person. Anyway, I think that's a great idea.
I thought another
Buy a
cool-
house in the Houthi region, and then you too can be on the
I-
group chat.
This is also an honest take. Another cool takeaway was listening to or reading how we see situations internationally as like a binary thing. There's an enemy over there. We should shoot him, or let's be safe. Whatever. They're in this chat talking about how we have to be careful attacking this one area because we can push them to attack a third area that's going to affect oil prices like globally. And so it was interesting to see how the media portrays these people as hotheads that don't know what they're doing and they're just out there making crazy decisions. And you see it in real time. Like, no, this is what happens. You have the vice president speaking up and saying, look, these are options, but I also want to consider that if we cause a ruckus here and that ruckus spreads into Saudi Arabia, it affects our oil prices, blah, blah, blah. Like we don't give them credit for being introspective and thorough, but then you get to see it on display and it's like, oh, okay, that's kind of cool.
It is exciting that our government and specifically our military services are not run by frat bros and 12-year-old girls.
Amen to that.
That would really suck.
Speaking of 12-year-old girls, Harry
David.
Sisson
Oh.
out from the DNC, no longer getting paid.
Why'd you say my name?
Who was Harry Desant?
Harry Desant.
Sisson.
Sisson. Who is
Okay.
that?
He was
Harry
the
Sisson.
A cool
you-
guy.
yeah. If you look up a picture of him, you'll know why you shouldn't like him. But then he was, I guess, Mr. Feminist kind of, your typical far left.
White boy for
fill in the
Kamala.
blank. Yeah, big time white boy for Kamala.
Wait, do you get? Yeah, keep going. Go ahead.
Well, no. So he was just kind of caught up, and I guess he was sending some unprovoked, salacious text messages to some people allegedly, and
he got me too'd. Are you saying he got me too'd?
I'm saying he got me too'd.
Oh my goodness!
See ya, big dog. Hope you enjoyed it while you had it.
The turns have tabled. Oh my goodness!
I did just look up his picture, and he looks like someone that deserves to be Me Too'd, honestly.
Total beta. Total beta.
I don't know if that's a mean thing to say. I don't know, but
back to the white boys for Kamala. Do you guys remember that ad that was like, "I'm a real man," and it was just like literal theater actors, like skinny, just the least manly dudes,
or
the
ones that the manly dude that goes into he's wearing his MAGA hat with all his buddies, and he goes into the booth and pulls the lever for Kamala Harris, and he's like, "No one knows, no one has to know," or something. Like,
dude, but like body language, their body language, it's like, I'm not going to say that they're all of a different sexual persuasion, but
yeah,
you can tell they're effeminate. You can tell that they're a little sketch.
The country boy sitting on the back of the truck like this.
Yep. Yeah.
Speaking of
be
Kamala,
straight.
I am being straight. This is
speaking of Kamala, Miguel.
Speaking
of
method
Kamala,
acting
for a week, straight.
It's kind of wild how quickly the entire thing blew over. That a non-elected official, not to sympathize with Biden too much or anything, but that a non-elected official almost pulled a coup on the entire country, and then she lost, and then everybody just kind of moved on, like it wasn't a terrible thing.
She was elected.
Live in a great country. I mean, man, this is.
She was elected as a vice president of another guy. She wasn't elected as a nominee for anything.
No, but the way the DNC and the RNC work, they can just do whatever they want.
Yeah, I mean,
that's written in the Constitution. Just do whatever you want.
They did it to Bernie Sanders twice.
That's actually that's actually rule. I think the bylaws, the RNC bylaws, that's like rule number 37. It's like it's buried down deep into the bylaws, but it basically says we can do whatever we want.
None of the above rules matter if we want to do whatever we want.
Correct. If we disagree with you, it gives us grounds.
It's convenient.
Politics sounds like fun. I don't envy you, Will.
It is what it is. Pays the bills.
I thought you worked in fashion. You work in politics?
Have you ever seen what these politicians are wearing? Very fashionable.
You're always going to NY Fashion Week and in Milan. I'm like, where are you? You're like, I'm in Milan.
Right, exactly.
Every time. It's so weird.
I'm getting good ideas and just like trying to understand how to dress my my fellow colleagues here in Washington, D.C.
I know nothing about fashion. I go to Goodwill.
Clearly.
This is from Goodwill.
Come on. Look at you.
I was good with the shirt. The glasses is what throws me off.
The glasses are cool.
Okay.
Brandon, didn't you say you found a pair of like $1,000 pants at the thrift store last weekend or something?
Oh,
I did. You want to get to my thrift corner?
Theme song.
No.
Thrift corner.
We're adding this in post. Nope.
I'm gonna drop some cash.
Go ahead.
No, I just want to hear about the expensive pants.
I bought a nice pair of pants at the thrift store, dude. Pair of Valentinos.
Doing a segment, you have to do a better job. Paint the picture. Tell us what happened.
That you're right, David. So to paint the picture, it all goes back to the day that I found this pair of loafers. It was. It was
we don't have to go that far
shoes.
Back to the shoes again.
One of those beautiful shoes I've ever seen. Shoes. And I don't know if we got any loaf heads out here.
Nope.
But I got a pair of J.M. Weston loafers for about $20. They are beautiful. Do you want me to go get them?
No. So my greatest gift to you, Brandon West, was making you Google Nun Bush, and now you're subject to all the cookies that associated with Nun Bush.
That is true.
Wow, that sounded like the craziest code word sentence I've ever heard in my life.
You don't know what cookies
are? Nun Bush, cookies, like what are you guys talking about?
So
you know what cookies are?
Whenever I was telling my friends about my loafer situation, they were really cool about it, showed a lot of interest. But in the process, the
DNA test
Will mentioned
says that was a lie.
Will mentioned Nun Bush, which is a very practical footwear. And I
For
was like, oh, I remember Nun
7-year-olds.
Bush. Yeah. I was like, I remember Nun Bush. So I like looked him up just like for the nostalgia factor. Turns out Nun Bush has the most aggressive digital marketing team I've ever encountered in my life. Because they have retargeted me every single day for the past, how long has it been? Like 4 months. Every day I see a Nun Bush ad.
Wow.
I've cleared my cookies. I've deleted my browser history. I've cleared my cache. There's nothing more I can do. Nun Bush just has a bead on me everywhere I go. I walk outside and I see Nun Bush signs picketed in my yard.
They knock on your front door.
It's like, fine,
Have
I'll
you
buy
heard
a
the
pair
good
of
news?
Loafer tennis shoes hybrids. Fine, whatever you need.
Have you heard the good news of our Lord and Savior Nun Bush? Knock, knock, knock.
Well, we found an episode title. Mark it
yes.
down. Nun Bush.
Nun Bush.
Nunya Bush.
Paid,
The,
Hold on.
paid for by Nun Bush.
Well,
made
the
a
fact that we're
joke.
saying this out loud and our cell phones are here listening to it,
We're all
yeah.
getting ads
I'm
now.
figuring we're all going to be getting ads
Oh,
shortly.
yeah.
Brandon's
Yeah,
joke
so-
about signs picketed in the ground reminds me of something unrelated. So wrap up your Nun Bush story and then I'll get to that.
Ground view.
Well, before we get to your thing, let's take a break for a sponsor.
All right. And
Nun Bush.
Brought to you by
Do you-
Nun Bush.
Do you have an office job where you need to stand sometimes? Do your feet get sore when you stand sometimes? Do you have a hard time putting on shoes
have you ever stood
in
ever?
which you have to stand sometimes?
Sometimes.
Do your canker sores and bunions begin to hurt?
Do you have
Do you-
hammer toe? I do.
Sometimes.
Give me some Nun Bush.
Do you only have $39.99 to spend on a pair of shoes you will wear every day? Nun Bush.
Do you like the
Visit.
sound of Velcro when you put your shoes on?
They do not have Velcro.
Nun Bush.
Nun
Do they really?
It's Nun
Visit
Bush.
nunbush.com and use our promo code CIPOD to get 100% on your price.
No, that's false advertising. 50%
Miguel, you
off
can't
the
do that.
price.
Yeah, Miguel,
No.
that's not cool.
Miguel, we love
Oh,
you.
yeah. I
but
stepped
Miguel-
over. My bad, guys. My bad. My bad.
Great, we lost Nun Bush. Thanks, Miguel.
My bad.
Oh, not again.
Man.
They're the only one
Just-
who believed in us.
There goes our only
Throwing money away
sponsor.
over here.
It was so short. We had one commercial. Miguel
So-
ruined it.
Friedrich Noon really believed in our show. He'll go
So,
to bat
in
for
our-
us again, but we're never going to be able to. He's never going to win this battle. Bush is
Nun
too
Bush is-
strong.
Nun Bush is going to come back to this table and be like, "We are okay with you guys again. We'll be glad to bring you back as long as you fire Miguel Gonzalez."
Fire the awful podcast host who slighted
But
me
you-
so bad.
But Eugene
You know-
Bush still isn't happy about it.
Are those
feel like-
their actual names?
Friedrich Noon and
Sure.
Eugene Bush. I don't know.
I'm buying a pair. If they have Velcro, I'm buying a pair or two.
Oh,
I'm
dude,
using the
they- more
promo code.
Velcro than you'll
The
get so
promo
much
code.
Velcro, you'll be able to launch yourself up to a wall. It'll be sweet.
Has anybody ever tried one of those where you put on the Velcro suit and then jump on a wall and stick?
I did once, then I realized I can only jump about 3 feet or no, 3
Oh,
inches,
that's
even
embarrassing.
on an
We're
inflatable.
We're not all athletes like you, Miguel. Dropping threes, dunking footballs. I don't know. I
Crisscrossing between the
You
legs.
tell me you don't play sports without telling me you don't
Alley-oop.
play sports.
I played golf and tennis and volleyball.
Golf is not
The
a
big
sport.
three,
It's just
the big
walking
three.
around outside. It's a hike with activity. And one that I enjoy a lot. But it's not a sport.
Yeah, I'm crushing you. Aren't we doing a golf tournament here shortly?
Yeah, dude, you and I are part of the Women's of the Institute team.
Oh,
Are you
you're on the
kidding
team
me?
too? 'Cause
Yeah,
you
I'm
tried
on
to
the
get me.
team.
You tried to get me on another team, and I was like, I'm already playing with Lauren.
I was just trying to get somebody cool in my cart because I'm not going to name who was in my cart last year, but it wasn't cool person.
Well, I'm with LC, so
It's Brandon West.
Jeez.
Wait, who am I with then?
I don't know. I'm with LC.
Who's the fourth in the Women's of the Institute?
Your cart mate.
Oh, I wanted you to be my cart mate. That was the
I-
whole point by attaching
kn-
myself to your team.
I've known Lauren a little bit longer. Shout out
Was it
Lauren Kohler.
Is she-
Did I get that right?
Yeah, sure. Is she an avid listener? Do we know?
is she
No,
No, I
she
don't
hates
think
me,
so.
dude.
No. She's waiting. Eventually she's going to replace you, Will. But
Perfect.
we're waiting. We want her to come in fresh.
Perfect.
Oh, we should have her on. That'd be kind of hilarious. But 5 people on a podcast, I don't know about that. 4 is already too much, and 3. We should just make this a 1-person podcast.
And we'll have to run it by our sponsor too. So,
Got to check with Nunbush if they'll allow a 5th wheel on here.
They make ladies' footwear, I'm sure.
with
Women.
Back to signs stuck in the ground.
So Snow White.
Ooh, good
It's
top.
not doing good.
What's her name? Rachel Zegler? Did I get that right?
Ziegler.
Ziegler, not German though.
Isn't it crazy that Disney would cast a pro Gaza star alongside a pro Israel star in the same movie? Like, did they do that by accident or on purpose?
I don't think they knew that until she came out and said Free Palestine.
Oh, they didn't know about Zegler?
Ziegler. That sounds like a Marvel
If anything,
movie.
I'm not surprised.
They deserve the rating for the CGI dwarves. Did you see like how just poor? Like, I'd rather watch Avatar, and I hate Avatar, and I hate James Cameron.
Okay. We can
This
get back to
podcast is sponsored by the James Cameron Hate Club. We don't like you, bud, but
they can't be paying us a lot.
but your movie's better than Snow White.
I'm sure DC Drano and he are like best friends.
He loves James Cameron, dude.
He does.
100%.
No, it stinks because they had originally casted 7, little people.
You could say it. Yeah, you could say it. Little people, big world.
Yeah.
View.
All right.
Oh
see you go.
no!
Oh no.
Were we too mean?
They originally hold on. Let me get a quick update. Lost connection on my end. Sorry, boys. Should be back shortly.
He's just taking a fry break.
Should we just start over? So they had originally casted, or were going to cast 7 people to play dwarves, 7 little people who, to no fault of their own, probably don't have the easiest time finding roles. But finally, there's a movie that requires 7 of them. But then freaking Peter Dinklage, the guy who's enjoyed the spoils of what being, a famous little person in Hollywood, he comes out and he's like, well, this, isn't cool to be doing this and casting people like this for this role because it's demeaning or degrading. The thing that Peter doesn't want you to know is that he doesn't want competition for his typecasting.
Ah, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Close down the market. Classic.
Close down the market. Yeah, if you don't know who they are, you can't cast them.
So is it like Peter Dinklage and then 6 copies of Peter Dinklage all playing Peter Dinklage-esque characters?
That wouldn't be bad. Kind of
No,
like a Parent Trap situation.
It's all animated.
Yeah, Peter Dinklage isn't even in it, which is kind of wild. He just poo-pooed the whole thing, but he's not even in the movie.
Yeah. No, he just threw a fit and then caused a bunch of other people to not be able to pay their rents for the year. So now we got the animated ones, which again almost seems more offensive that you would have to like animate people. Like, I get why you have to animate like Simba in the live action Lion King,
Or
because
like Shrek,
talking
documentary.
animals don't actually exist. The thing that's offensive about this is like
Dwarves exist.
It's a good
they
point.
exist.
No,
They're
they
real
don't.
people.
Birds are
That's a
not
good
real.
They're real people.
Did you
So
say
to say
Birds aren't real.
you're just like you're like this cartoon fictional thing, whatever. No, we can't find
Which
real
is
dwarves.
Deeply, deeply offensive.
Speaking
think
of
so.
little people, did you ever see
I
the
have a
show on
dwarf
TLC
myself.
called Little People Big World? Did you guys ever watch that?
I remember the title. I don't know if I ever watched too many of the episodes, though.
My sister and I were obsessed with it.
But it was just a
I watched
reality
it quite a bit.
reality show about little people, yeah?
Well, it
Yeah,
was
it's
like
really
this
good.
huge family from Oregon or Washington or something, and they had like a butt ton of kids, just so many kids, and a few of them were dwarfs, a few of them were human,
Normies.
normal.
Average
And it was-
human
it's-
size is what
You
he
wanted
means.
to say it.
I can make fun of them because they're multi-millionaires by now, so
Okay, but what about all the other ones that aren't?
they're my
All-
best friends.
All they wanted to do was get cast in the Snow White film, make a few $100,000, maybe set themselves up. Couldn't even get
That's
that.
true. They can't even afford internet now. Thanks, Dink.
It was Matt and Amy Roloff, and they had regular sized children, but they also had dwarf children.
Mhm.
Anyways, it's my favorite show ever.
Yeah.
All right.
Midgets.
Okay. That might have to be an edit.
You're gonna edit that?
I'm pretty sure that the M word is considered an actual slur.
No, it is not.
No? Are you positive?
If you go on record, he'll leave it in.
No, yeah, if you go on record, I'll leave it in. You positive it's not a slur?
A slur, Miguel. I'm sorry. I know you were like a radical leftist until 5 seconds ago. But
More
everyone
like,
says
first of all, more
everyone
like
says
10
midget.
seconds. I'm pretty sure that it is an actual slur.
No, it's a medical term. A slur.
It is not. It is definitely not a medical term.
Retard is a medical term.
That is a medical term. Midget is not a
And
medical
you edited me saying that out last week. So
I don't
Yeah,
think
because that
retard
word
is
is
a
You're gonna
medical
edit-
term.
frowned upon. It used to be. I actually don't think it is anymore. I know because
Well,
my
I think
sister
it
has
is.
Fragile X, and she used to be diagnosed as, quote, severely mentally retarded, but I don't think that they call it that anymore.
mental retardation. It's
Yeah.
like as like a noun. I think it's. I don't think they use
Wow.
it as a noun. I think it's
Okay,
more
so
like a-
apparently a lot of people
descriptive.
Google this very same question because I literally typed, is mental, and it auto-completed, retardation still a medical term. Wow. In 2013, it was replaced with intellectual disability. See? You come to Culture Irrelevant to learn something new every week. You're welcome.
Yep. Do we find out anything more about JFK other than like the fun AI edits they made of the pictures?
I mean, other than the fact that it's kind of confirmed that the deep state assassinated him, I don't know that we've learned anything crazy, but there are records of the CIA calling around, making sure everybody's pushing the solo shooter narrative. There's records of the FBI following what's his face? I blanked on his face.
Ted Cruz's dad. Has he been
No.
implicated?
The shooter.
Lee Harvey Oswald.
There's records of them following Oswald before and after the shooting. They knew where he was at all times. They knew where the guy that was going to shoot Oswald was at all times. So I think it pretty much just confirmed what everybody said. Also, apparently the term conspiracy theory came out of this event and was coined to discredit the people that were pushing the narrative.
What?
I
kinda
heard that
crazy.
too.
What?
It's kinda crazy.
Conspiracy theories, was it, they were all just one big op?
It was
Conspiracy.
just a big op.
The concept of a conspiracy theory is literally a conspiracy theory.
Yeah.
I think it
this
is.
is like Inception. I'm gonna get
Yeah.
incepted soon.
I don't mean to like interrupt, but Roger Stone tweeted out, "Funny, I don't recall this midget calling on Hillary Clinton to resign."
Ooh,
If Roger
okay.
Stone says it, I'm saying it. Keep it in.
Okay, all right.
Bro with it, boys.
I can buy that. We won't edit it.
That's a
I like-
bold-
I like-
that's a bold-
That was good on the spot research right there, David. Way to go.
Mr. Stone is always walking on eggshells to not offend people. So
He need to
follow
go to
his
jail,
lead.
by the way.
Yeah. You know, I want so badly to see his Nixon tattoo, but I don't know how it's ever going to happen.
Invite him to a pool party.
Yeah. That's maybe the only way.
I think so.
Miguel, you look confused. Have you ever seen his Nixon tattoo?
Google
I was
it.
going to ask where it is, but then I didn't want to follow
No,
that up.
it's like
Worth
actually the coolest thing ever. Google
It's worth it.
Google Roger Stone Nixon tattoo. It covers his entire back. It's just a picture of Richard Nixon's face.
And it is strikingly resembles Richard Nixon. Like
It's
it's
so
it
cool.
is one of the best tattoos.
All right, it doesn't cover his whole back. It's like just at the bottom of his neck.
Okay.
That's kind of lame.
Good grief.
It covers the ground view of his back.
Yeah. As a podcast, we strictly stick to the ground view, so that's all I can see. Perspective
You're
is everything.
vicious, bro. David is
If you-
quick with
if-
that.
If you die before me, I'm gonna make sure your tombstone has the words ground view on it. But there's no chance I'm dying way before you. But,
I'm quite confident my wife will have something to say about that, but you're free to discuss it with her after I'm gone. I won't care.
Well,
Fair enough.
she'll understand once we're done explaining our position.
May
Yeah,
you
I'm
forever
sure.
enjoy the ground view. Rest in peace.
It's actually a funny tombstone caption. Guys, I remembered. I had this funny story from Brandon when Brandon was talking about the signs in the road. So in my neighborhood, once a month, there's a pizza shop that comes on Thursdays from 6 to 8, and they set up a truck outside with a bunch of hot pizzas. They sell them for like $8. Great deal.
What?
Yeah. There's now a new pizza shop competing in the neighborhood. They have posted their sign today right next to Big Robbie's or whatever it's called.
Hey, no free ads.
Yeah, sorry. It's not called Big Robbie's. It's called Little Willie's. But there's a new pizza place. They've put their own sign. There's like 4 signs, and now each sign has a different sign right next to it. Same price for pizzas, $8. And I am very much looking forward to whatever's going to happen tomorrow in this neighborhood from 6 to 8. I feel like
You
these
should
pizza
review
boys
them.
are going to go at it.
That's
you
terrible
should,
marketing.
you should review them and rank them. Rank them? Grade
But
them?
why would they not knock $1 off their pies?
You would think so. Like, at
Yeah,
least try.
Like, this pie that I already know is quite good is $8, or I can try this new one that I've never had that could stink.
Do
for
they sell
$8.
slices or do they only do full pizzas?
No, they only sell full pizzas. I've never tried them though because I kind of avoid buying pizzas out of the back of a car that were cooked probably hours
they
before.
cook them in trucks.
No,
they just
no.
bring them.
The dude just brings a truck and he's got
That's
two of those
that
hot
is
bags with
disgusting.
just boxes of pizzas in them.
I
Yeah,
bet
kinda
it's
gross.
awesome.
I'd rather
I
go
bet
to
it's awesome.
I'd
This
rather go to
doesn't
Little
sound like
Caesars.
a real company. This sounds like somebody who just like made up a fake name, called it Little Willie's.
It could be. Are they aware of the cottage laws in the state of Florida?
What are the cottage laws in the state of Florida?
Oh, funny you ask. The cottage laws in the state of Florida have to do with what you may and may not prepare in a non-commercial kitchen for resale to the general public.
Well,
So things like eggs, milk, those
Did you
sorts
say milk with an E? Oh
Milk.
my gosh.
as ingredients. You cannot use that because there can be harmful bacteria if not stored or cooked properly. Meats that are not dehydrated, you may not sell them without it being prepared in a licensed commercial kitchen.
So when Miguel was talking about how excited he is to see what happened in the neighborhood, I could only assume that he was talking about the local authorities showing up and just arresting everyone. involved.
no, I want to see. I want to see the two pizza chains go out. I want to see these two dudes start scrapping.
Let's have them fight for real.
No,
What are you
and-
doing on my
and-
turf, bro?
And
You
then
need to
when
walk
they're
up with
done,
a
everyone
You know
gets
they don't
arrested.
speak English like that.
The guy that I've seen out here is actually very white, very fat, and very white.
Yeah,
There you go.
This is,
Oh.
this
And I'm
is
pretty
not
sure it's a real.
company.
I'm pretty
This
sure
is
it's a
not
real
real
pizza
company.
place.
No, this
No, I'm
is
pretty
not
sure it's a real pizza place.
nope.
They have a phone number that you can call for deliveries and stuff.
Sure,
It's just-
everyone's
it's
got a
just-
phone. We have a phone
I mean,
number, Miguel.
we know that he has a car.
A podcast that gets 7 viewers has our own
We
phone
have a
number.
phone number.
So I think a guy who steals pizza from local. I bet all the boxes
Maybe.
are
This
is
by
crazy.
3.
This
They
is
all have
lunacy.
different. They all have different names on the boxes.
A
and they're all
Domino's
different-
box, Little Caesars.
He
That'd be
literally
funny.
just robs them at gunpoint.
This is lunacy.
What
Hey,
do they call
I-
it? Pizza Ghost Kitchen?
Just so everybody knows, I
Ghost
got
car.
a
Ghost car,
little
no driver.
disconnected earlier, so my clock only shows 9 minutes. I don't know how long I've been going for, so let me know when you guys want to wrap it up. However,
Never.
I did
Nothing
want to.
tells the podcast energy like.
I
Should
did-
we done? Should we finish?
No, I wasn't saying let's
I'm
finish.
bored.
I'm just putting it out there. But you're right. That was kind of a buzzkill. I'm sorry.
David still has to do a stunt.
And we still have to take our voicemails from callers.
Yeah, we
let's
know
do-
we still have,
let's
we
go,
still
let's
have
go to
voicemails.
voicemail. Let's go to voicemail.
Wait, Miguel had a philosophical question he wanted to pose.
I did not. I've been working
God.
on it, but I haven't gotten a good one. And plus, after how I get roasted on, I come into this podcast every week. You know what? It's going to be a good week. The boys are going to be nice. They've forgotten what was said by me last week, and every week I come in and I get re-roasted for stuff like from weeks ago. So I'm
You wanna-
reticent to bring any more contributions to the show. Honestly,
You know what you should do, Miguel? Change who you are, and that's just advice coming from me.
I should probably not take the week off too, because it only gives adds to my ammunition package.
100%.
Like, I spend 2 weeks at that point plotting.
loading up.
Yep.
We got the
All right,
voicemail.
you ready
again,
for
or what?
do you want a fresh philosophical paradox to work through?
Yeah, I also want to know: do we have permission to share this voicemail on air?
Oh my god!
You know what? I really don't give a crap about this person, and if they don't like
Let's
me,
go.
they don't like me. Yeah, literally.
I think we have an LLC, so we have no
They can
liability.
do that.
That's how that
could
works.
disappear from my life forever, and
Who has the
That's all I guess
LLC? Because I
happened
don't.
We
Are we doing philosophical paradox, or are we going straight to voicemails?
Philosophical paradox. Give it to us.
If a perfectly benevolent time traveler erases every trace of their own existence to prevent a future catastrophe, ensuring no one ever knows they acted, does their goodness still exist without recognition, or does virtue require a witness to be real?
That's the dumbest philosophical question I've ever heard.
correct. I agree with Miguel. Good try.
We'll go to
I
voicemails.
agree with Miguel.
Yeah, we
Oh.
3v1, real quick 3v1.
Yeah,
right there.
sorry about that, Brandon. It was a good attempt. I applaud you for your courage.
Well, I will say that I didn't read it before I read what ChatGPT.
Hey, guys, I have
me,
one.
So,
Oh, you went to ChatGPT for that?
no,
I have a
wrong.
philosophical parallax. Parallax?
Somebody
If
quick,
it's
say
time-
something mean to say.
If a time traveler travels back in time,
That was you.
If a mime falls in the forest and no one is around to hear it, does it make a sound or is it really just committing to the bit?
Voicemails.
That's how you-
goes.
That's how you do philosophical questions.
Are we ready?
Jeez.
5,
Yeah.
4, 3. This one comes in from a caller. It has to do with.
Why'd you start the countdown and not play it?
Well, because I was counting down to my introduction. This one has to do with whenever we were talking about how Trump is able to circumvent the court's ruling on the deportation measures.
I had no idea what I was talking about when we talked about that. So
I know whose voicemail this is.
Who?
We'll see if I'm right.
Hi, my name is Will. First time caller, long time listener. Love what you guys do. I am curious as to how, in this entire conversation about judges being overruled by the President of the United States and how he usurped their authority over flights that are leaving the United States en route to a foreign country, how in the world did no one bring up the fact that what are you, as a judge, going to do about it when a plane takes off? When the President of the United States gives a command and to a group of people, likely military, who are transporting prisoners to a foreign country, the pilots, likely military, are going to listen to what the commander-in-chief has to say. And no one throughout that entire conversation brought up the fact that what's a federal judge going to do about it? Like pull out a
He sounds like he's getting
rocket
madder and
launcher, shoot down
madder
a
as the
plane?
voicemail goes on.
Like, try and stop me. That's kind of what the whole Donald Trump thing is all about. He knows he's right. He's going to do it anyway. And listen, once those illegal immigrants are off U.S. soil, guess what happens? We're not going to do a damn thing about it. Like,
Sorry
good
about the
luck
language.
coming back in the country. What is the judge going to do? Say send a plane back and go get those illegal immigrants in a prison in El Salvador and bring them back to the United States? No, that's not going to happen. And if it was, if the judge did make that order, no one would listen to him. I don't know. I'll hang up and listen. I just wanted you guys to recognize that. Anyway, thanks for taking my call.
That listener sounded unhinged.
Yeah.
My goodness.
Thank you, listener.
I
Thank you,
agree with
listener.
everything he said.
Crashing
He
out
was
on
a-
the phone over here.
He was a freaking crazy person. Not to mention at the end he said thanks for taking my call as he was leaving a voicemail. This guy did not know where he was.
I like how you ended your 3 minute. You ended your 3 minute rant with, I don't know.
I'll hang up.
I don't know. I don't have any strong opinions on this.
Oh, that was gold. Okay, new rule. If you aren't on the podcast that week, if you have to skip it for some reason, you have to call in.
Yo, that's a great rule. That's
You
a
gotta
great
call
rule.
in.
You have to
That's a
listen to the
great
show and you have to call in on a single topic.
But
So-
I love it.
I'm
Great
serious.
call, Will. We disagree, unfortunately, but
I agree with Will.
No, I
1000%.
agree 100% with Will.
What is
3v1 again.
What
What
is the
pilot
judge
is calling
gonna
into the
do?
federal
It's a
judge? Hey, judge, can I carry out these orders that the president just gave me? Are you sure it's okay?
Yeah, and what's the judge going to do? Like shoot the plane down with a rocket propelled grenade? Like what, the surface to air missiles? I had no idea.
no.
take
You're
matter
right.
into my own hands.
Right. I had no idea judges had that capability. No, none of that made sense. And I am appalled almost that you guys were having that conversation and just being like, oh yeah, I don't know. Like what?
I didn't bring it up. I didn't want to talk about it because I don't
We-
know the answer.
We were just
I'm
trying
done.
to do our best without you, bro. That's all.
Ugh,
Yeah.
man.
Last episode was bad. I hated it.
They're trying.
So there's not too much available up-to-date data, but so far we've sent about 200 to Venezuela. We've sent about 150 to Mexico.
Love it. Love
We're getting
it.
there. I kind of like seeing those low numbers too, because I think everybody was freaking out, like, "Oh, they're going to deport thousands of people, and poor moms and dads are going to be taken to jails." And like, no, well, it doesn't sound like that. It sounds like they're finding exactly the people they need to get rid of and sending just those people out of here.
Not exactly. There are
No?
some like funny, not funny stories about like.
Oh, I haven't seen
there's,
any
like,
of
one
these.
guy who was like, I think it was like a professional basketball player, or maybe soccer player, and they misidentified one of the tattoos that he has, and they sent him to Venezuela.
Wow, that's brutal.
Yeah, so like it's not a perfect system, but what is?
young boys and girls, if you're listening to this show, which you shouldn't be, but if you are, take this as a lesson to think well before you tattoo your skin, because you never know where that tattoo will land you.
It's true. Does anybody here have a tattoo besides
Negative.
Nixon? David has to have at least one.
David,
Nope.
you have a tattoo.
No, I don't.
Says a lot about you though that you give off tattoo vibes though.
Look at him.
I have a new segment I'd like to do.
I thought David would have like a feather somewhere, like an Indian tribal feather, like maybe,
like a dream
A
catcher.
dream catcher.
maybe a dream
Yeah.
catcher, or like you ever see where like people
On his
do
ankle.
like
A
like the
music
full-
note behind his ear.
I can
How
see a
dare-
music note.
A music note.
How
Or
dare you?
like, have you ever seen like
dare
the guys who get like the full like arm, like the skinny bands around their arm, like two skinny bands?
Like the
Yeah.
You know what I'm
tribal
talking about?
looking.
Yeah.
No, not tribal, just like
It's just the
a,
line.
like a solid line that wraps
Yeah.
around the arm.
That's like a tribal tat.
I never
Solid
saw
line.
Tribal
solid
tat.
black.
Why do
I
you
don't
know
think
these
so.
things if you don't have a tattoo, David?
Ooh, busted.
Because I went to Liberty, which is a bunch of hipsters.
Yeah,
Who have
these are
tattoos?
hipster tattoos. I'm
Yeah,
describing.
of course. I have friends who have tattoos. I don't have any.
Yeah,
Sure.
Name them.
I like this story.
Name it. Oh, you read books? Name every book. Go.
Name every tattoo you've seen.
Correct. Skull. I don't know.
Dang it, he has one.
Well, my segment idea was life hacks that you like to use.
Okay,
when it-
that is an excellent.
Didn't
segment
let me
idea,
finish.
brother.
Didn't let me
Yeah,
finish.
it's about to
Like-
get worse.
Life hacks you like to use for deporting illegals.
I should have let you finish. I'm sorry.
Yeah, maybe no one ever interrupt me ever again. How's that?
Oh my gosh. We really do need to stop interrupting David because we're not giving him the benefit of the doubt here.
Wait, I'm not done.
Well,
Let me
I do want to.
finish.
Because
I do want to
of
give
that,
I would like to
someone
give a
is
shout
getting
out.
deported. Someone is getting deported on this
100%.
show. On this show.
100% on the show.
On this show. From this show.
That feels a little threatening to me.
Miguel, what's your last name again, son?
Russell.
I thought it was funny that Will just
Miguel
successfully
Enrique
interrupted David,
Rosell.
like 4 times in a row, rapid fire.
Doesn't matter.
Oh,
I,
no,
needed,
That's cool.
I needed
He
someone
just
to
did
know.
it again.
I needed someone. I needed someone to know that we're deporting. We're actively deporting people.
It's a difference because we're just both starting to speak at the same time. What you guys do is step on my words.
Sometimes my words are
You can
better.
interrupt now. Go ahead.
No,
Yeah,
I
right.
wanted to give him that
Sometimes-
awkward silence right there.
Sometimes
Thank you.
I
I
just
earned
have
it.
to,
I love.
you know.
I love the awkward silence. All right, guys.
All right,
How about
do
a
the fun
catapult?
segment now. Catapult?
Yeah.
Oh, we're still doing life hacks.
Depends
yeah.
on how far
Oh,
away you
nice,
are.
nice.
You got me going now. Like
Hot
I
air
got
balloons.
I got my
Wait,
my very few brain cells now starting to rub together really fast.
Wait,
All right,
wait,
with some energy.
Let's all pick
Miguel
sides.
had something good just now. Miguel, say your idea.
Hot
again.
air balloons. Stick them in it, heat it up, tell them count to 60, and then you can do whatever you want, but don't come back this way. And let them figure out how to descend, let
How
them fly off into the
beautiful.
sunset, whatever they want.
We should
You
do
have
that
freedom.
for the
Go.
We should do that for the 250-year anniversary. Like we just have this thousands of hot air balloons fill the
Filled
sky.
with illegal
All of
immigrants.
us, and we watch
This
the
podcast sucks.
northern winds just slowly blow them southward, and they just we all
We're the
it's
northern
like
winds.
we have an Arms Across America
thing.
moment where all of us stand arm in arm. We just slowly
Just
wave.
waving.
Creating a human border. You're like,
What song are we singing? What song? Do
We
they
are
sing?
the world. But it's ironic.
No,
Somewhere
that's not.
over the border.
But we say we are the world, but every time we say the word we, we're really aggressive about it. So it's like, we are the world.
This sucks.
We are the children.
All right.
I think we should start finding Will every time he coughs into the microphone.
It's
Breathe,
the only
brother,
time he gets
breathe.
close to the microphone. He's back here the whole show, and then when he coughs, he's like, is this on? He turns up his gain. Oh, man.
Guys, I gotta say, we've barely talked about anything serious or important this whole show,
Yeah,
and this
we
might be
should-
the most fun show we've ever done.
I know, because we shouldn't talk about things serious or important because we don't know anything.
Yeah, yeah.
We
gotta
should
stop
just
taking
goof.
ourselves so seriously. I
wait a
agree.
minute.
I-
Are you
I
that
never
person on
have.
TikTok, David, who keeps telling us that like,
That's it. That's it.
there's a burner account on TikTok that's just like continually tells us,
Research your
"None-
sources.
None of you know anything. Is that you?
I don't have TikTok.
I'm sure. A likely story. Another
It's true. None
recover.
of us.
Keep
We
it
really.
covered.
We. Look it up.
Read a book. Wait, what book do I have here? Let's look at it. All right, boys. We should wrap this.
Fight like a man.
A human.
Who is that by?
I don't know.
A human border wall singing "We Are the World."
All right, we should wrap this up before
awful.
Will has a conniptions from laughter.
Just awful. Oh,
Thank you for
God.
joining us. Make sure you follow us on our social medias. Some weeks will be serious. Some weeks will be
I think I
amazingly
pulled a
hilarious like
muscle.
this.
Oh, jeez.
If you're driving, pause. Don't listen to this while you're driving. This episode is not to be driven with. It's just too hilarious. You're gonna crash.
It's a weird time to put that disclaimer.
Yeah, just tell people not to listen to our podcast right at the end
At
of
the
our
end.
probably one of our best
Wait a
episodes.
minute.
Hey, by the way, guys, don't listen, and that's coming from the ground view.